Hey guys, per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. Shout out to all the new Twitter followers. Almost to 4K. Thinking about what I'm going to do when we hit 4K. We'll see. Maybe a giveaway. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that on YouTube. Putting together a beginner TA guide, an outline, just getting started right now. It's going to be pretty long. It's going to be released who knows where. I've got some competing interests as far as who wants to see it, where, blah blah blah. More articles on Brave New Coin, check those out. I'm not going to talk about most of the stuff from the article. The article is pretty good though, I think. I don't know, lately I think my Brave New Coin article's getting better. Definitely getting better. Maybe not the writing, but the charts are getting better. I'm also started writing for Bitcoin Magazine. Those are definitely basic for newer traders type technical analysis. Also decent articles considering that they're for new people. The charts are good. I think the commentary is good. It's funny, all of these websites dislike my op-ed sort of stuff, my opinion stuff, but I don't know, I think that's what people want to see, so that's what I put in there. So check out those charts, talk about pivot points, fib extensions. Came across this guy, Jamie Holmes, who writes for BTC Manager. A few weeks ago I came across him through one of the contacts of Bitcoin Magazine. Funnily enough, he uses Cloud with this Bill Williams fractals. He may or may not have gotten it from me, I don't know. His settings certainly aren't what I use. So Jamie, if you're out there, give your boy a shout out. Let me know if you saw this for me. It doesn't matter either way, but it's just interesting. His analysis is a lot like mine, so if you like what I'm talking about and how I'm talking about charts, check him out. I'll put a link in the description. Let's get to some charts. Last video I was kind of bearish. I went back and watched it and it was yeah. I mean, I was waiting for momentum. There really honestly wasn't momentum that I saw at the time, especially on places like the hourly or the 4 hour. But then signal started to flip and we took off from there. We also, most importantly, I think, this horizontal level here got busted wide open. You can see on this candle right here how there's a super clean break of the horizontal with volume. That's what you want to see. So if you're just trading this pattern on this time frame, that was your entry signal. That was your 80% of your account entry signal should you trade like that on one broker or with cash on Coinbase or whatever. That was definitely the entry signal. And what's even better about this is we had a massive pullback to the breakout zone, what I'd call a throwback, that sort of confirmed it as support. Who knows what's going to happen from here, but on this pattern, this chart, 1400 is the target, and on the Brave New Coin article I lay out 4 or 5 different reasons why 1400 is also a target for a lot of things. So I really like 1400 coming up here. Now that we do have a bit of momentum, we broke the previous local high. We're at several all-time high levels now, so we'll see where it goes from here, but 1400 is definitely the zone that I'd be looking for. Shout out again to Jamie Holmes. He's the one who I noticed the monthly Bitcoin cloud on, so he's responsible for this, but his settings again are default, mine aren't. His big thing was Kumo twist on the monthly. That's sort of hard to conceptualize, especially because the monthly is an insane time frame for Bitcoin, which loves to move on much smaller time frames. You know, it's kind of like watching an alt that just was released on a daily time frame. There's just hardly any data, just historically. I mean, Bitcoin's been around for a few years, but on the monthly there's not that many candles. So basically this is a big deal because it says prices above cloud. We're thinking back to our Ichi signals. TK cross is bullish, prices above cloud. The reason this isn't drawn in all the way is because there just isn't enough data with even single settings. Anyway, so price above cloud, bullish TK. The Kumo twisted, bullish, lagging span is above price above cloud. So those are all the signals you need. If you're trading, if you're an investor, this is the investor time frame. If you're on the monthly, you're looking 3 to 5 years out, I think, as far as Bitcoin is concerned. So I think investors would love this sort of picture with these technicals, with the SegWit fundamentals, with the possible ETF fundamentals coming up here. It looks really bullish on the monthly. And just to sort of help, it's kind of like looking at 10 billion as a number. What does that even mean? So looking at another monthly cloud chart, the SPX 500, yes, this is completely different fundamentals, blah, blah, blah. But the point is just look at the cloud, okay? Broke the monthly, had the Kumo twist, TK cross, so everything's bullish, right? The lagging span wasn't out of the cloud until here. So if you're waiting for all 4 to flip bullish, you'd be waiting until here. The signals are concerned. But most importantly, I'm looking at this here. We get a dip to the support zone on the cloud. So for a Bitcoin, it would be 570. That may occur between now and this goes out to 2020. I just realized that between now and June 2019. Okay, so that's a long time for Bitcoin. Who knows what's going to happen in those those time period spans. But the point is, there was a pullback to this zone, and then, you know, we get the TK cross again. This confirms the support, yada, yada, yada. The general picture you want to see as far as going long is concerned, with all these signals flipping. Also interesting on the, this is single cloud, by the way, that we get a bullish TK recross recently on the SPX. So that screams higher highs. Okay, back to weekly. Single cloud. I was kind of pointing this out on Twitter earlier this week, but again, bullish TK recross. Historically, they don't always work out, but they work out often enough. It's probably like 80-20 on any other time frame but the daily, where it's worth just relonging no matter what. We're talking like a large portion of your account or cash holdings just based on that signal, because it's that powerful. And you can see here, you'd be in at around 600. And this was also a Kumo breakout on the daily doubled cloud. So if you happen to not be looking at a single weekly cloud like I never do, the signal is also there then. And you could also see we had Kijun bounce, which was your re-entry signal at 750, 800-ish. So plenty of signs and places and signals on weekly single to go long should you be looking at that. Something else I'm looking at, you can see cloud is continually moving up higher and higher, which is good, what you want to see with a bull trend. You can also see we have lots of real estate here to fill in. It should price fall below Kijun, which it hasn't since you know, the initial breakout in like October 2015 above the Kijun. Something else to consider, the slope is just getting started again. The time spans are shortening, which I talked about on Brave New Coin. So just a bunch of little things. Not much of it is actionable, but to me, overall, this says consolidation periods are shortening. The trend is hastening as far as breaking local highs. So that says we're getting to the end point quicker as far as a parabolic blow off top like this. Not necessarily as parabolic, the 3K or something ridiculous, but it's definitely getting to the point where it's getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and that's the hallmark sign of things reaching an endpoint sooner. Here's the daily on single. Again, flat Kumo, flat Kumo. These are some levels should we decide to go down. When I'm looking at these wicks, especially this wick here, this is very reminiscent of these wicks in these beginning of the ascending triangle type deal on the weekly and daily. So we'll see if we consolidate from here. There's certainly targets for down if that occurs, but it's looking like, again, I'm going to say it, there's no momentum, but with the coin ETF right around the corner, the decision, this could really go either way. You know, if you're an investor, it's good to be in. If you're a trader, it's good to sort of be cautiously bullish. It's definitely bullish based on the cloud, but overall I'm looking for entry signals. If you look at the 4-hour single cloud, this was your re-entry here as far as bullish TK cross is concerned. And again, bullish TK cross above price above cloud, cloud bullish, lagging span above price above cloud. So here we're seeing TK touching at the moment, trying to recross. Not my favorite entry as far as that's concerned, but that's the single cloud. Kind of expecting another sort of just sideways downness. This was a PBFC announcement, so not this 12% dump, but something similar is possible, definitely. And in the BNC article, I was talking about how a dip into the hourly cloud would be good. In this currently hourly cloud, as far as, you know, we make a move, we go sideways, we dip into the cloud, confirm support, and then we take off again. So currently, if you look at it, this was the previous hourly, this is the current. We have this double bottom. I call it an Adam and Steve instead of an Adam and Eve. Basically, the male versions of the bottoms are sharp and the female versions are curved. So we have the W double bottom, just a regular 2x double bottom, which is a nice chart pattern as far as confirming, you know, trend reversal or support confirmation. So here, this was last night, I think. So you can see double bottom pricing cloud. This is a no trade zone. We're also below the Tenkin and the Kijun. Tenkin and Kijun are both touching that uncrossed cloud, trying to flip bearish. Tweeted this out this morning. You can see cloud flip bearish, TK lines flip bearish, and now they're back to neutral. And we have this bull flag. We have a bunch of resistance up here. This is the 1618 of the previous zone. We are making a bull flag, still back in the cloud. So everything is definitely leaning bullish but neutral. And then these are the targets as far as one of the pitchforks are concerned, and the 1618 of the move from here to here, extreme high to extreme low. You could draw from here to here. I just didn't. And then what I'm saying here is everything flipped from bearish to neutral, back is trying to flip back to bullish, and that's the best time to re-enter a trade if you're not in on lower time frames or any time frame. I like the hourly as far as the lowest time frame is concerned. Ideally, what we're looking for here is a bull flag, breakout confirmation on volume, price above a yearly pivot above the 1.618, and then the next target would be local high, and the next target would be 1618 and pitchfork. I talked about this the other day on Twitter, but there was a definite bear div on this, a higher high, lower low in volume and RSI. So although bear divs can be our lagging indicators, you can sort of preemptively look for them as far as our reversal zones. So this is the 4-hour doubled. I'm saying, I'm looking at the trading plan, bearish pullback targets. If we get a higher high here, if the hourly cloud plays out, we get a higher high, and RSI doesn't make a higher high, which it's going to have to shoot pretty high to make a higher high based on this. We're going to get a bear div, and that's going to say pullback or sideways over continuation. If pullback or sideways does occur, that puts us into higher probability of pulling back even further, previous resistance turn support level, and that's confirmed by the 50% fib from here to here on the flat Kumo of the cloud. So just looking ahead this week, a few days ahead, if support doesn't hold here on the cloud, if we go sideways, if we make a higher high, basically go sideways, gonna make sort of this inverted head and shoulders thing, shoulder, head, shoulder, we can dip down below into the cloud at 1067, and we look towards the previous resistance turn support horizontals for targets as far as that's concerned. And the first target definitely would be this 1070 level, at least on stamp, and then there's some mini resistance turn support levels here. How this coin ETF decision is going to influence that the week following will be interesting. 311 is a Saturday, so we'll know by hopefully 310. If not, it'll be 313, Monday the 13th. So we'll see how that plays out. And then I keep plugging these yearly pivots just because they're so prophetic as far as support resistance levels are concerned. We'll either like sort of push above them and then lose momentum, or push below and lose momentum, but we're definitely in this range indefinitely for the rest of the year until there's a clean break. There's definitely starting to look like possibility for growing momentum. You can see consolidation here. I guess this was more of an equilateral triangle than a bull flag pennant. Equilateral triangles are inherently 50-50. Bull flags or pennants are more leaning continuation. You can see here's a great example of a bear flag where it was horizontal resistance. We didn't break the 50% fib, and this diagonal support. This was a PBOC announcement, so that lined up pretty nicely with that. And lastly, just a few of the pitchfork stuff. 4-hour, you can see we've bounced in and around these zones nicely. This is the smaller pitchfork, the smallest of the pitchforks. So the median line would be returned to the mean, and then these are sort of the upper and lower support resistance levels. If we go back to the whole idea of this 1067 level, again, pitchfork really likes that as far as the support diag is concerned, and the biggest pitchfork from the 2015 zone really likes that level as well. Then real quick, if we go to live hourly, you can see that bull flag did break up as I sort of was expecting, considering how it looked. So Kumo breakout, TK cross is bullish, Kumo's bullish, lagging span not yet above price, it's about right here, but that's the least important of all the signals. That's singled cloud. If we just make that doubled real quick, you can see all the signs starting to flip. TK flip bullish, price is above cloud cleanly now, and cloud itself is going to flip bullish on this next candle. So the TK cross recross is definitely an entry signal that's decent as far as confidence is concerned. When we get this picture though, when everything bounces on support in the cloud and everything then flips from bearish back to bullish, with chart patterns confirming bottoms, that's a definite higher confidence probability of at the very least retesting this previous local high. But we'll probably see is a sort of head and shoulders thing going on if there's no change in like the equilibrium as far as the ETF is concerned. So again, head, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then 1067, somewhere around here. That's what I'd be looking for. That's like days away, but right now, if your risk profile is decent enough, a long is screaming right now to me on the cloud. That's all, guys. Hopefully I spoke a little clearer in that one versus the last video. Let me know if you have any comments below. Hit me up on Twitter and Telegram, and happy trading.